Good afternoon once again, and I warmly welcome you to the studios of Puli TV in Laro. It's time once again for that program. We call it Newspaper Review and Analysis. Today on the set, I have with me the Baba Agbalagba himself, the one I call Encyclopedia, Mr. Deji Adeyemi. Mr. Adeyemi is a publisher, a veteran journalist, and of course, particularly, is a broadcaster. And I welcome him. Mr. Adeyemi, welcome.
Thank you very much, Femi. I'm glad to be here.
Once again, you are looking good.
Well, let's just thank God for His mercies.
That's good. Today, there is a particular story that is very prominent to all the newspapers that were published today, and talking about the completion of military investigation into the alleged coup. It's put paid to rumors, mongering. Why was there a coup? Was there not a coup? And the defense headquarters is confirming now. We take that story from the front page of a Punch newspaper. It says, military investigation, DHQ moves to arraign alleged coup plotters. The newspapers, as it were, published the outcome of that preliminary military investigation. And of course, the report has been submitted to the presidency.
Yeah.
Now awaiting the approval of Mr. President for the military to set up a military pro panel to investigate it.
Yes, well, I think the very issue is being sorted out now. What I mean by that is that when the thing first hit the news waves, it was like, did it happen or did it not happen? Even the government came up with a statement saying that it was a misconduct of sorts. But eventually, they went on to do their investigations, and they found out that actually it happened. And the list came up. What we find out is just that as the commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, the buck stops on the table of President Tinubu, and I guess that he will do the needful. I don't know what might. Of course, I shouldn't say I don't know. There are humans, and humans will be humans. What we all need now is to join hands with the administration, or let me say, what we should do is to try as much as possible to make this democracy that we are running, to make it work. We all know that across the globe, democracy is what is the standard. So why some people are bringing military insurgency or military thing, I find it very difficult to understand. Though they say that the Burkina Faso experiment is working, but of course we don't need that in Nigeria. We cannot compare ourselves to some of these African nations. So what I think should be is that the presidency should just set up the military panel, and let's see what happens after that. And we all know that in some years back, when military coups are very rampant, there was this talk of the fact that if you even hear about it, you are a goner. not to talk of being involved, being caught in the fray.
Mr. Adeyemi, without trying to preempt the outcome of whichever military panel that will be set up, and I don't want to prejudice it. History, or what happened in the recent past, when they are our coup, is that whoever is found guilty will be committed to death penalty, and now that the world is changing somehow, they're trying to de-emphasize capital punishment, death penalties, for whatever offenses.
Yeah.
So, what do you think Nigeria should do for whoever is found complicit in this at the end of the day?
Well, we cannot preempt the president or the presidency. We all know that, like I said, even if you hear about it without being in the mix, you are a gunner. But in the meantime, truly, like you said, capital punishment is no more fashionable across the world. But of course, there must be adequate punishment such that we can discourage such things in our society. One finds out that military incursion or military thing should not be our priority now. Our priority, I keep saying, is development.
Okay, let's move forward. Still with the Punch newspaper, the front page of the Punch newspaper, there's this a minor report on the masthead saying over 400,000 jostle for 50,000 police jobs. It's talking about unemployment, still very, very prominent in Nigeria. Over 400,000 people jostle for 50,000 places.
Well, that's how it is. The unemployment problem is still very manifest here. We all see it. People try to make ends meet, and so on and so forth. So it is all right. What I mean by that is that for over 400 people jostling for 50 positions, it's a sad reflection of the society, of especially the unemployment situation in Nigeria. So, but they should, as much as possible, when they now call them to come and do physical exercises, they should organize it so well, such that we don't have the repeat of what happened some years back at the immigration office, when people who were invited to the stadium, there was a stampede and all the rest of it.
Trample on each other.
Yes.
Okay, we move forward. We're now going to Vanguard newspaper. Now, on the masthead of the Vanguard newspaper today, there's a minor report saying UK property scandal. Attorney General of the Federation takes over ICPC's case against Ozekome. This is a running story. Mike Ozekome's son is being investigated for alleged corruption, property acquisition in UK. And the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation is now taking over from ICPC. What could have informed that?
Well, obviously it means that the situation is getting a little bit tenser. When the Office of the Attorney General decides to take over a particular case, away from MDAs or commissions, it means that they really want to get to the bottom part and see, okay, what exactly transpired, what happened. And of course, there are evidences, according to the commission, that there were forged documents and the rest of it. Well, we just need to keep our fingers crossed. There's nothing we can do here. It's already in the court. So let our dear son face the consequences. If he's okay, they will set him free. If not, of course, the answer is there.
All right, still moving forward from the front page of Vanguard newspaper, still on Vanguard, there's this minor report on the masthead. 2027, I'm talking politics now. 2027, okay. Tinubu's running mate. APC dismisses speculation over Shettima's replacement. For some weeks now, we've been hearing stories, and even the social media is awash with different kind of postulations that there are alternatives now. They're touting names of Bishop Martin Skuka, Tambuwa, and all the rest that will supposedly replace Shettima in 2027 as a running mate to President Tinubu. Now APC is saying no, Shettima will still run.
Left to me, I think that's expected from APC. It's too early in the day to start talking about replacement or the running mate to the president. We all know that President Tinubu is running, and that is clear. But of course, you would remember that the matching of Shettima to President Tinubu earlier on in the last election was a little bit risky because it was a Muslim ticket. And but it's not as if we haven't had any, I mean, we had Abiola and Kingibe, Muslim, and they were overwhelmingly supported. But in the meantime, that time had passed. You can imagine, and now we have, there's a sensitivity of religion, of ethnic cleavings and all the rest of it. So what I'll just say is that it could be very dicey. But of course, it's not for us here to start talking about whether they should let him run with President Tinubu or the APC party finds a replacement. Let's see how it goes anyway.
All right, still talking about 2027, and I'm now going to Tribune newspaper. There's this report that on the masthead of Tribune newspaper, which says, with Kano governor's defection, APC now controls 29 states. 29 states in the kitty of APC. Ordinarily, we would believe that is a sure bet for APC to outrun any opposition in 2027. Do you see it happening?
I want to believe so too. 29 they say.
29 now.
I think I read somewhere that it's 31. But anyway, don't let's even bother about the figure. Between 29 and 31. In a few days to come, some other people may just decide to jump ship again and move on to APC. But in the meantime, I think APC rather, is on a very sure footing, as it were, now. It is just left for ADC to go and put their acts together.
With Kano governor's defection, APC now has 29 states in its kitty.
Yes, well, what I'm saying is that 24 hours is so long a period in politics. Things can still happen. They say 29 states, 29 governors, and of course some people were saying 31. APC, as we talk now, has a sure footing in the political landscape. They sure can possibly try as much as possible to have their way. However, what happened in Kano is a reality of godfatherism and sonship. Because what we find out is that Kwakwanso said sometime yesterday or maybe before yesterday that the day Yusuf announced he's moving to APC
was a
will be
betrayal day.
tagged a
World
day
Betrayal
of betrayal.
World Betrayal Day.
The World Betrayal Day. And you can just imagine what is happening.
Okay,
It's not new.
That brings this question. Is it assured that APC will deliver, or Kano State will be delivered to APC? Because we know that there are strong politicians and strong footings, with strong footings in Kano State. We are talking of Kwankwaso, we are talking of Barao, we are talking of Ganduje and all whatnot. And already, the cabinet of Yusuf is divided. In fact, some commissioners were retiring.
Only one actually retired.
One of them is resigned recently because he doesn't want to follow Yusuf to APC because he's a Kwankwaso boy. So what is going to happen?
The fact remains that maybe not all of them will move en masse to APC. But of course, what I'm getting at is just the fact that this godfatherism thing, the reality is just facing Kwankwaso now. It has happened so many places. We can name names. People who had been helped up to a political level and then turned coat at the end of the day. And it doesn't really, and truly, people should forget about such a thing. People will continually want to hold their own forte. What I mean is that when you are positioned or when you are put in a place, you want to formulate your own policies, you want to implement them and all the rest of it. And rather than have somebody in the bedroom at home dictating to you. So it will continually happen. And of course, don't let us forget that Kano State is in the political calculus of Nigeria. Kano State, Rivers, Lagos, maybe your state, are key states to win. When you win those states, then you are ahead of opposition.
All right, we continue to interrogate it as events unfold. It's a running story. 2027 is coming ahead, and politicians are up in their game.
Oh, yeah.
Let's move forward and to a story that borders on the economy. And we are now going to the Nation's newspaper. There's a minor story on the front page, on the masthead. NAFDAC's ban on sachet drinks will cripple local investment. NAFDAC's ban on sachet drinks will cripple. In fact, there's protest already in Lagos by workers of these manufacturing companies. They're saying 5 million Nigerians will lose jobs if this ban is enforced. What is the way forward?
There's no way forward except that people should just do things appropriately. The professor at NAFDAC is working assiduously about making things work fine, especially in the healthcare industry. And then, of course, if you look at the sachet drink thing, truly speaking, a lot of people will be displaced at work and even in their trades. You hardly can move 2 houses or 3 houses without you seeing this array of fenuja, like they call it, displayed.
That's
right? Yes, that's displayed in the frontage. Those are even marketers, those who are traders. And some people are producing these things. I remember that they used to, maybe even now, there used to be some time back that the Songo Water Axis is noted for the production of these alcoholic beverages. You have NDL, you have so many of them. And then, of course, it's quite an investment, I must say. But if they find out, you see, the problem really is the fact that fakery is all over the place.
If we are bothered about the environmental pollution and, of course, the health hazard of Nigerians consuming alcohol in this magnitude, what do you say to this next story from the front page of Vanguard, which says 15 million Nigerians use hard drugs? The story is credited to Marwa, the DG of NDLEA.
Well, you should know, he's the one who is on the table there. His data, and you should tell him that kind of thing. But if that were the case, what do we do? Because if you talk of illicit drugs, it is not a thing that the government, any government for that matter, should take lightly, because it destroys the future of our youths. And we say the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. So what government should really do is that the fact remains that maybe there could be a sitting down with manufacturers of these sachet drinks, and then they can find a way to regulate it, to find a way such that it won't be, because so many things have happened. Even the Okada guys, they just branch off, take some, and then you climb their bicycles in danger.
If we are so bothered about the access to hard drugs, why people use hard drug and the number escalating, are we not worried about the easy access to drugs? And what I mean by drugs, I am not talking about illicit drugs this and that, but this regulated drugs, the easy access to it. A newspaper recently published that poor service from hospitals, high cost of inflation, high cost of buying drugs, and of course, easy access to drugs is leading the youth or the population into drug addiction.
Well, I think it is something for the Federal Ministry of Health to really work on. When you go to hospitals, in most cases, you don't. In some other places, they get subsidized drugs, and the high cost of drugs. Hardly do we, apart from Emzor and a few other. That is where you find the correct original drugs. See what we are told happens in Aba market or Onitsha market. Don't forget that it is this particular thing that killed, or rather that Professor Akunyili had to battle. And of course, there was a time assassins pursued her. So what we just need to do is that the government should just sit up and control drugs manufacturing. And of course, even when drugs are imported, there ought to be a kind of supervisory regulation.
Okay, as we wind down this program, let's talk briefly about the weather here in Europe and of course US. There's a report, a pictorial report on the front page of Punch says deadly winter storm hits US, 17 killed, flights grounded. We are so lucky here in Africa, in Nigeria. We are still talking about heat, and of course in Europe they are not finding it easy.
Yes. In fact, it is not something. It's not a laughing matter. Let me put it that way. But in the meantime, it is what it is. I was sitting with a friend 2 or 3 days ago, and he received a call. He was supposed to travel back yesterday. And you see with all that travel back to the US, that all flights into some of the major cities had been cancelled because of this snowstorm. And then, of course, they sent him pictures of 15 or 17 inches of snow all over the place. We are lucky, yes, we are lucky in Africa, but in a manner that they, in their advancement, would even be able to control and get things done, because they even will give them information ahead of it. They will clear snow from the road. They have a support. And of course, we just hope that it will not be a thing that will disrupt their lives.
Okay, we just pray that God take control of everything. Thanks so much for staying tuned for Newspaper Review and Analysis. I've been speaking with Mr. Deji Adeyemi, and I know that his thoughts have been right on. Thank you very much for finding time to be here.
Thank you very much.
That is the program. We'll be back with you tomorrow.